Good morning, children. How are you today? Сәлеметсіңдер ме, балалар? Қалдарың қалай? Здравствуйте, ребята. Как ваши дела? The theme of our lesson is the internet wikis. Бүгінгі біздің сабақ тақырыбымыз желі вики. Тема нашего урока называется интернет-вики. Exercise number 1. Check the meaning of the words in the box, then complete the text below. Бірінші жаттығу. Мына сөздердің мағыналарын тауып біліп аламыз. Және де төмендегі мәтінде осы сөздерді қойып сөйлемдерді толықтырамыз. Упражнение номер 2. Находим эти слова. Переводы находим и заполняем предложение в тексте. Content. Мазмұны, содержание. Use. Пайдалану. Использовать. Go live. Өмір сүр. Жить. Double check update. Жаңартуды 2 рет тексеріңіз. Дважды проверьте обновление. Reading.
7. Unit 2. CLIL. An ever-changing document.
What is a wiki? A wiki is a web page that anyone can create on the internet with simple software. The word wiki comes from the Hawaiian word for quick. As soon as you've written a wiki, it can go live on the web. Anyone who reads a wiki can click on Edit this page and then add, delete, or edit any of its content. This means that wikis are continually changing. Most of the changes are necessary to keep the information up to date, but internet vandalism, changes which are wrong or offensive, can be a problem. What is Wikipedia? Wikipedia is familiar to most people who use the internet regularly. Wikipedia started in 2000 as part of Nupedia, a free online encyclopedia written by experts. Wikipedia was different because ordinary people wrote its content. It was immediately popular and became an independent website in 2001. Wikipedia has now got articles in over 250 languages, including more than 2.5 million articles in English alone. Wikipedia, advantages and disadvantages. Wikipedia is growing bigger every day, and there are no limits to the topics it covers. Because people update wikis all the time, Wikipedia contains information about the very latest things, such as recent news events or advances in technology. However, you should never forget that Wikipedia is a wiki and anyone can write and edit it. As a result, you should always double-check facts before using them.
Exercise number 2. Read and listen to the text. Check your answers to exercise 1. Then match the headings from 1 to 4 with paragraphs from A to C. There is one heading that you don't need. If you have listened the text, you should know where put these questions. Exercise number 3. Read the text again and answer the questions. There are 6 questions. Let's watch the video.
Build knowledge together. If you've ever gone to Wikipedia to look something up, you might have noticed that you can actually edit the page. You can add information to it because it is a wiki which is collaboratively created and edited. Moodle has a wiki too, which you could set up for your learners, for instance, to do a group project, doing some research, or to write a combined essay. To add a wiki, we go to our course page and we turn the editing on. Then in the section where we want our wiki, we click Add an activity or resource. This brings up the activity chooser. Wiki is an activity because learners interact with it. Click once to go straight to the setup screen, or click the information icon for more details, then the Add button. The name is important because it's what the students will see on the page to access it. And you can then give a description of what you want them to do with the wiki, and you can tick the box Display Description on course page. Normally, a wiki would be group work, collaborative, but you can, by changing the drop-down menu here, have an individual wiki, and then each student would have their own copy, for instance as a personal notebook. We are going to keep it as collaborative, however, and the next thing to do is to choose the first page name, and this must be carefully thought out because it cannot then be altered. There are other settings, but for now we just go to Save and Display and get our wiki started. You see now that we press a button to create this page. If you don't understand any of the other formats, just leave it as default, it's absolutely fine. And we now have our first page of the wiki. To set up links to make up the other pages, you put double square brackets around the name you want to give the page. So here are a couple of examples, and this is how your learners would also make new pages on the wiki. When we scroll down and save it, we see that we have links, but these aren't yet pages until we actually click onto them and create those pages in the same way that we made the first page. So if we click on the reading link, we're then prompted to create that page, and we can start adding information to it. This is how your students would then add text and information to a new page too. Now, if we scroll down and save that page, we can take a look at some of the other links in a wiki. If we look at the tabs at the top, Map takes us to pages which have been created, and we can access them from there. Currently, we only have 2 pages. History is a useful way of the other learners and the teacher seeing who has changed what on the wiki, and in case of any problems, that's a handy page to go and revert changes. And if enabled, Comments allows you to see and add comments to the wiki.